I'm very cautious now. Oh, jeez.
Free mask. Please take a mask. Take a mask. Take a mask.
Okay. Mask
Please
bot.
enjoy.
Weird. It's not a Bonnie mask.
Oh, jeez.
Look at all the wires and stuff.
No? Okay. Security mask. Whoa.
Cool.
Welcome to Vanny, the Virtual Augmented Neural Network Integration Unit. Okay.
I've talked a lot about Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach and its DLC, Ruin. I've talked about its main antagonist, the Mimic, and I've talked about which ending Ruin leads off of. But one piece of the puzzle I still haven't tapped into is in regards to the character, and more so the concept of Vanny. Vanny as a character was originally advertised to be the main antagonist of Security Breach, and she technically does fulfill that role. However, in Ruin she's completely physically absent. But not totally absent. We're given a mask from the self-proclaimed mask bot, which we end up using throughout most of Ruin. This mask is useful for getting through obstacles or even traversing through space itself using these portals. But what's really going on here? Is portal tech an actual thing in FNAF now? Or is there something else going on here? And also, why are you, the viewer, not subscribed? You should totally subscribe, I make a lot of theory content. Also, not to brag or anything, but like 80 to 90% of my Ruin theories ended up being right. There's a lot to discuss here, so let's get started. I've covered Vanny as a character extensively in the past, so I'm going to try and keep this brief. Vanessa was formerly a beta tester for the Freddy Fazbear virtual experience. In fact, she's very likely meant to be the player character in Help Wanted. Vanessa ends up piecing together that another beta tester, named the Tape Lady, had discovered a glitch or a virus of some sort inside the game which manifested itself into this green rabbit shape. Vanessa ends up becoming possessed by this rabbit and creating a new personality, a combination of Vanessa and Bunny called Vanny. Vanny, now a servant to Mimic 1, or BlueFlytrap, now has a new goal. What that goal is doesn't seem all that clear if you ask me, but basically she needs to kill a lot of people. And she manages to do this thanks to her position as the chief of security at Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. Vanny also most likely had a partner in crime, Patient 46 GGY Dr. Rabbit, otherwise known as the child, Gregory. However, Gregory is able to shake his own possession, which causes Vanny to come after him. This leads us to the main story of Security Breach, which has Gregory, now free from Mimic 1's programming, trying to escape the Pizzaplex. Because of Ruin, I'm not going to cover every ending, only the one that leads us directly into Ruin, which is the Princess Quest ending. Originating in Help Wanted's mobile port before reappearing in Security Breach, Princess Quest is a series of arcade cabinets that the player must beat in a set order. Upon beating all three of these games, Vanessa is freed. She drops the Vanny mask and meets Gregory at the door to the Pizzaplex. The two, alongside Freddy's head, manage to escape. It's the best possible ending for Security Breach. But then there's the fallout. Ruin starts up sometime after the events of this ending, with the Pizzaplex having apparently been destroyed by some kind of earthquake. Crews seem to have been trying to repair it, but when Cassie arrives, the place is already covered in graffiti and vandalism. It's here that Cassie receives an unusual item, the Vanny mask. Not the Vanny mask spelled with a Y, the Vanny mask spelled with an I. This mask looks exactly like the mask we see in Help Wanted's Curse of Dreadbear DLC, and the one seen in Security Breach's trailer, probably meaning that this mask is meant to be completely unique and separate from the one that Vanny actually wears. Before this game came out, I had theorized that the reveal would be that the mask was not meant to ever be worn by Vanny, but was instead a tool she would use to turn other people into glitch trap servants. Funny thing is though, I don't really know if I was right on the money or not. When Cassie first wears the Vanny mask, we're introduced to Helpy, who explains what the mask's purpose was. Helpy tells us that the mask is called the Virtual Augmented Neural Network Integration Mask, and its main purpose was to help technicians navigate the ruined Pizzaplex. It's worth noting, however, that Helpy is more than likely another avatar of Glitchtrap, meaning we can't fully trust him. However, it's also made a point in this DLC that Helpy never straight up lies. He'll tell half-truths or imply things for sure, but he never says anything completely untrue. Even when he seems to be gaslighting or manipulating Cassie, he's not usually wrong. When Helpy tells Cassie that it's all in her head, taking the mask off usually helps whatever problems she's facing go away. So I do think we can trust some of Helpy's dialogue to not be completely false. When he gives the name of the mask and what its purpose is, I think we can trust him here. But then, why the Vanny mask? Where did it come from? And why is it here now? Well, I think it's connected to the graffiti we see throughout the Pizzaplex. Regularly as you travel, you'll find images on the wall or sometimes the word Vanny. This graffiti is really everywhere, especially towards the beginning of the game. So here's my thought process. What if Cassie isn't the first person to get that mask? Think about it. Someone had to have tagged up these walls, in various different paint colors at that, sometimes guiding Cassie onwards. I think this was done by other people who have worn the mask. Whatever technicians came here were given this mask, to make their jobs easier, but more importantly, to become new thralls. But there was a problem in the way. Mixus. These technicians that have left these clues behind each ended up dying. Hell, there's a good chance Cassie's father, who we know was a technician, was one of these people, given that the Phaz wrench Cassie picks up apparently looks a lot like his, and several items that we can collect in the AR world are supposedly items that he would have collected. So here's my thinking. Vanny originally constructs this mask as a backup plan. In the event that Vanny herself ever dies or is compromised, then the mask would be used to create a new Vanny. These masks were then distributed to the technicians who entered the ruined Pizzaplex in order to see what could and couldn't be salvaged. However, that's when things went wrong. The technicians all began to become proxies of BlueFlytrap, but there was resistance. Mixus was in the system and these new Vannys were killed off. Before that though, some had managed to make it pretty far into the Pizzaplex. One was working on repairing Glamrock Freddy, labeling the bottom of his foot prototype as a marker to show he was in the infant stages of repairing him. Others were more concerned with making Monty the star of the show, making up some of the Freddy decor with Monty's sunglasses. Others had even gone so far as to make it to the Mimic's hideout, but that was the last of it for them. While they had broken quite a few security nodes, in the end it wasn't enough, and they too were killed. Eventually, it became clear that none of these technicians could make it out. They had taken Mapbot and destroyed it, reprogramming it into MaskBot, who would be able to deliver a mask to whoever came into the Pizzaplex next. And while they were at it, they labeled directions and instructions for the new Vanny to follow, and that new Vanny would end up being Cassie. Essentially, what happens in Ruin is the fallout of a botched backup plan. What BlueFlytrap didn't account for was Mixus, and it led to the destruction of any technician who entered the Pizzaplex. This is why, despite all the signage about the Pizzaplex opening up again soon, it looks like it's been destroyed for quite a while by now. They did want to repair it, but their technicians had all vanished inside. And this is what leads the Mimic to become so desperate. It tries to reach someone, anyone, to come let it out. And its choice of victim was Cassie. Like I said, Cassie's father may have been one of these technicians. If the Mimic somehow knew about this, then there's a good chance that it used Cassie's father to contact her as Gregory before killing him off. But hey, that's just a theory. No, stop that. You aren't making that joke again. Get a hold of yourself. Whew. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this theory. If you did, be sure to subscribe, and also check me out Saturday at 9 p.m. EST for the first episode of my new podcast-style stream series, Let's Theorize, where I invite FNAF theorists on to discuss all sorts of different points in the series. The first episode, I'll be joined by ID's Fantasy, so be sure to check out her content in the meantime. Until then, peace.